Again, everybody, I'm Scott Lipkowitz, the Digital Services and Technology Librarian at Onondaga Free Library, and I'd like to welcome you all tonight on behalf of the Strathmore Speaker Series, our partner who graciously allows us to present insightful, inspiring, informative programming like what you're about to hear tonight to you, our patrons, and our neighbors. So thanks so much for stopping by. This is the fourth event of our 2022 season. The Strathmore Speaker Series is made possible through the support of the City of Syracuse, the Gifford Foundation, the Greater Strathmore Neighborhood Association, and donations from our participants like you. We like to provide our speakers with an honorarium. So if you'd like to support this, please go to www.strathmorespeakers.com and you'll see a donation button on the landing page. You know, even a little bit helps us fund every speaker. Our guest tonight is Alfonzo Whitehurst. He's a public speaker, a coach, and a physical education teacher in the Syracuse City School District. He grew up without a father, and his mother died when he was 4. He and his 2 siblings moved from relative to relative, and school was always a challenge. But Alfonzo had dreams of a successful future, and he never let his life's challenges deter him. He became the first in his family to earn a college degree, and he holds both a bachelor's and a master's degree from Utica College. Alfonzo became a football and baseball coach and has been recognized as the first-year teacher of the year by the New York State Association for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance. He volunteers widely in the community and spends his summers working with youth in the Adirondack. He's currently the face and CEO of Find the Wisdom, a public speaking organization he founded to share his experiences with the Central New York community. Question and answer session will follow Alfonzo's presentation, so please be sure to stick with us. And now, please welcome our speaker, Alfonzo Whitehurst.
Hello, everyone. How are we all doing tonight? So overall, I can see quite a few cameras are off. Well, I just want you guys all to know that today's presentation will be interactive, whether you put your camera on and you share your camera, or if you type in your chat box. So overall, either way, it is going to be interactive. I will have you guys doing things, interacting with myself and other people in the crowd. So I want to thank Scott and Mary for having me here today. It's truly an honor to be able to speak to you guys and share some of my story and some of my life experiences with you guys. So overall, first thing I want everyone to do really quick is I want you to stand up. No matter where you are, stand up. And I just want you to shake out the cobwebs. I know we all just started, so we're gonna take our arms.
Shake it out.
We're just gonna wave it around. Yeah, shake it off. You're sitting in your chair, shake it off. All right. So now that I have all you guys' attention, what I want you to do is I want you to get something to write with. A pencil and a piece of paper, a marker and a whiteboard, anything you have. Really quick, I'm gonna give everyone 1 minute to do that. So I'm gonna give everyone 1-2 minutes to grab something to write with and go. So by the time the music stops, hopefully you're all back.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road.
About 30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Don't make the best of this task and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned.
All right, so hopefully everyone has something to write with and a piece of paper. So what I want us all to do right now, right? I'm big on, right, living our vision, right? A big thing that helped me get to where I am today, like Scott said, I've been able to overcome a lot of adversity, but today I want to talk to you guys about overcoming adversity, but also how to connect your adversity with the community you live in and the community you're from. So really quick, what I want you to write down on this piece of paper is I want you to write down either a person or a thing that you feel is holding you back right now in your life. So that's just like holding on to you, right? And that you just can't seem to shake off, right? Something that you can't seem to shake off currently in your life. I want you to write that one thing down. I'm going to write down something that you've, whether it's a person, it's a thing, or it's a place that you just can't seem to get rid of. I'm going to give you a minute to write that down. Right. So, right now that we have those things written down, right? What I want us all to do is really quick. I want us all to close our eyes, and I want us to picture the life that you want to have, or think about the situation that you want to use. I want us all to right now use our imagination and think about what the happy life currently is for you. Right? I'm going to keep talking. You guys keep your eyes closed. Right? As you have your eyes closed, think about the things that you see right now with your imagination. Right? Think about how powerful that feeling is and how you feel right now in this dream of yours or in this imagination of yours. Right? I want you to feel and understand what you see and feel right now. That is what we want to strive for in life and overall for our community. Right. So I want you to open your eyes now. Open your eyes. Right. So, right. I'm going to share with you what I wrote down. I wrote down weight loss and community love. Right. My biggest thing that I've been struggling with so far, right, is losing weight and being consistent with the gym. I've been going to the gym, but I got to become more consistent with it. Right. The other thing I wrote down is community love. I'm all about the community and people working together and everyone coming together. When I was younger, my grandma always shared with me, it takes a village to raise a kid. It takes a village to raise a community, right? So overall, right, that vision we just had for ourselves is what's going to help our community, right? So a little backstory on myself. Like Scott said earlier, growing up, I lived with my sister, Alicia, and my brother Marcel. We grew up with our grandmother right outside the Strathmore area on Stokes Street, right on Bellevue, on Coolidge, on many different streets. And overall, we moved 18 times, right? As young kids between the ages of 4 years old to 15 years old, right? 18 times. We didn't always know where our next meal was coming from, right? We were all often getting a meal from the Salvation Army, eating whatever we had in the house, right? But to us, that was just a regular norm. We didn't know any better, right? So for us, we just had to keep overcoming that. We had to keep putting one foot forward and realize, all right, this is what we want, this is what we have, and this is what we're going to be thankful for, right? The biggest thing in life is being thankful for what we have, right? What we have and what we have in the moment. So, right, that goes back to me and my siblings, right? We're living with our grandmother. Our grandma, she's a great woman, right? But overall, she was struggling, right? She didn't always know who she truly was, right? She didn't know who she truly was while also trying to take care of myself, my sister who has cerebral palsy, and my younger brother all at once, right? So now you have someone sacrificing their life and their time, things that they have to do to make sure we have a better life, right? Our grandmother had a vision, not for herself. She had a vision for her grandkids, right? And sometimes we get caught up of having a vision for someone else. We never take the time to come back and think about ourselves and realize the vision that we have for ourselves is the vision that we gotta pertain to first, right? So really quick, I want just a couple people just put into the chat, or you can raise your hand and share with me what you wrote down as your vision, right? Rather type it in the chat, right? Multiple people can type it, or if you want to raise your hand and say it out loud, say what you feel your vision is for yourself. Don't be shy now. Don't be shy. All right. Start running again. Anxiety-free life. See, maybe get one more. Let's see if we get one more. One more shared in the chat. What's your vision for yourself? Eat healthier. Come to terms with my past, which holds me back. Right. So I love all these. Right. I love the anxiety-free lifestyle, healthy eater. Come to terms with your past. Right. Enjoy life. Be good to others. Be a successful entrepreneur. Start running again. Right. All those things, right, are very, very personal things that you guys have with yourself, right? Now, think about this. The biggest thing that's going to help you get to those points in your life is by taking the time, right? We always say time is valuable and time is money. The biggest thing in life that we can always give and never get back, right? You can give all the time in the world and never get paid back for it, right? And all we have to do sometimes is take a step back, realize who we are, and spend a little extra time on the weekends in our free time of trying to become the person that we want to be instead of trying to escape the life that we currently live. Right? If we realize a lot of us, when we get out of work, what do we want to do? We want to have a drink, right? We want to do something to escape the life that we're having rather than taking that time and realizing, like, hey, maybe I just need to take a moment and work on things that are holding me back in my life. That is where you need to take the time and realize, all right, this is going to help us be better, right? And then when you think about the community, right? Let's take the city of Syracuse, for instance, right? There is an article that came out last week that 48.8% of the children in Syracuse that currently go to school live in poverty, right? And we always think, oh, we need to dump more money in the city. We need to dump more money. We need to dump more money. No, what we need is more people to volunteer their time to show these young youth, the youth that are at risk, the youth that have things, the youth that don't have things, that there's a better life possible, right? But if they can never see that, if they can never see that vision, but they never have the time of someone else showing them that has it, and that's the hard part of why they aren't being able to get past those crutches in their life, right? It's you see there's multiple violence, right? There's no big role models in their life, right? Because no one is taking the time to step up and say, I'm not gonna worry about myself today. I'm gonna go help this young man because he needs it. I'm gonna go help this school because it needs it. I'm gonna go help this program because it needs it. Right. And that is what we need overall more in the world. We need people that are going to take their time, and that will produce and provide more money for the city. Right. That is going to produce and provide more health for the youth in the city and the people overall in the city. Because once I got the opportunity to move to Baldwinsville, right, at 15 years old, right. I'm going to tell you the story how I moved to Baldwinsville. I'm at football practice at Corcoran High School. Leave practice, come down to the locker room, change, walk outside, Child Protective Services is there. They're like, lady goes, yeah, Alfonzo? I'm like, yep. She's like, all right, you're going to come with me. And I'm like, I don't know you. She's like, yeah, no, you're going to come with me. Trust me. Like, I already know we got Marcel and Alicia already. Marcel and Alicia are my siblings. I'm like, all right, I'm going to trust this lady. Go with her. And we get ready to process to move to Baldwinsville. And we're like, oh, we don't really want to move to Baldwinsville. So what do? Try to figure out another way to stay in our environment because that's all we're used to, right? So luckily enough, we were blessed with an older sister that was 21 years old at the time, still in college, still trying to figure out her own life, right? But what did she give for her 3 siblings, right? Can anyone tell me what she gave up for her 3 siblings, right? She gave up her time. Right, there's a 21-year-old young African-American woman who also lives in the city who doesn't have it made, right? But she doesn't want to see her 3 siblings go off and not know what's actually going to be out there for them, right? But what did she give? She gave up taking care of all 3 of us, taking care of our sister with cerebral palsy, taking us to the doctors, living her own lifestyle, right? Trying to take care of herself, go to the doctors, all at the young age of 21 years old, while also all of us living in a 1-bedroom apartment down in Dablon Court. right? A 1-bedroom apartment, but my sister gave her time, right, to make sure that her siblings were going to be fit and that she knew that they were going to be in a better situation, right? And for myself growing up, right, I didn't realize at that moment that what she was doing for us was bettering us, right? I got to live in that moment of turning our living room into a bedroom, from bedroom to living room to bedroom, right? But I had to see those things, right? I had to be in that situation of hard times to realize I had to see a better vision for myself, right? I want to see a better vision. I want to live a better vision, right? So from that moment on, I said, you know what? I'll never live in these projects again. That one day I will be able to buy a house and live in a house and call it my own. Right. This past year, I was able to buy my first home over here in East Syracuse, and it's the most rewarding feeling ever. Right. I was able to buy my own home at 27 years old. That had never been done in our family. Right. So my biggest thing now is, all right, I've lived this part of the vision of being able to never have to go back there. Not saying I can't go back there, but I'm on the road to never having to go there, owning my own things so I can help provide a better lifestyle for myself and my family. Right. So that was the first vision I had to live. Right. The next vision, right? We just went from a 1-bedroom, right? Our sister gave up her time. We're living in 1 bedroom. Now I have my own home. Right. So now the next vision I lived, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to go to college, right? Someone has never been to college, no one in our family ever been to college. I want to be able to go to school, right? And I'm telling people at this point, I'm in Boston. I'm like, yeah, I want to go to college, but I don't really have the money to pay for college, right? No money at all, right? I don't even really have the grades. Right now, I'm currently in Baldwinsville. I get to Baldwinsville with a 68 average after freshman year at Corcoran. A 68 average, right? Fast forward senior year, applying to schools. Oh, if apply to Ithaca, oh, denied. Apply to St. John Fisher, oh, denied. Right now, I'm like, oh, I don't have many options now. I got accepted into the HOP program at Utica College. If you don't know what the HOP program is, it's a program that pays for 5 years of education for any at-risk youth or youth that cannot afford to go to college on their own. Right. So, right, I get that opportunity to go to school. Right. Like I said, I finished 9th grade, the 68 average. End up graduating from Baldwinsville with a 77 average. Woohoo, right? But to myself, I know I struggle in school, but I'm going to figure out how can I live my vision and overcome adversity and help my community get back so I can help my community, right? So I'm like, all right, this is what I got to do. I have to hone in and help have these people understand that this college thing is for me, but I'm going to do it the way that I know how to do it best. Right? I'm not going to do it the way John does it. I'm not going to do it the way Tim does it. I'm not going to do it the way Alicia does it. I have to do it the best way that Alfonzo can get through. Right? School isn't for me. I'm not the best reader. I'm not the best note taker. I'm not the best studier. Right? So after freshman year, I have a 1.9 GPA. Right? I'm like, oof, college is a little hard. Everyone's like, oh, you got to study. You got to study. I'm like, oh, I have never studied a day in my life, right? Never really studied, always just like found a way to get by, right? And I realized that if I'm going to live this vision, I have to change something. Something has to change, something has to give, right? So now I start to take school a little bit more serious because if I fail out of school, I'm going right back to those projects. I'm getting the possibility of going right back to that 1-bedroom apartment down in Dablon Court, right? And I don't want that. I've already lived that, and that is not where I want to see my life right now. So, right, I go to every teacher office. I'm like, hey, I understand this is college, it's not high school. You can't be anything, but I need your help to help me, right? I want to be successful, but school-wise is not the best thing for me. If I take these tests, is there a way after the test I can come to your office and explain what I just took on this test, right? So you may think, oh, college is hard. After every single test, after my freshman year, not every single teacher, but I'll say 8 out of 10 teachers allow me to come to their office right after taking a test and explain to them what I just read and what we just did on the test, right? But it took me advocating for myself, right? We all have to realize we have to advocate for ourselves. We have to advocate for the people around us if we want change and we want bigger and better things, right? So in order for me, I'm like, all right, if I'm going to be able to live out this vision of graduating college, I have to advocate for myself every single day because no one else is going to do it for me, right? And that's what you guys have. That's what you guys should realize. No matter where you're at right now in your life, no matter what you believe in, right? Advocate and stand 10 toes down on what you want for yourself and for your community, right? And that is what's going to help you overcome those adversities, right? So you may think about community and adversity, right? But if you never advocate for your community and you never publicly speak on it, then that's going to be hard. Not many people are going to know what you're going through or what's truly going on. So, right, after 3 more years at Utica, right, I'm getting ready to graduate in 2019. I have a 2.84 GPA, right? 2.84 GPA. And in order to get my teaching degree to be a phys ed teacher, you have to have a 3.0, right? I do not have a 3.0. So you know what I do? Right as soon as I got the report card, all right, I'm going to the teacher's office, right? Go to the teacher's office. I'm like, hey, I understand I don't meet any of your state requirements, your college requirements. I am made to be a phys ed teacher to go back and help my community. I'm not sure how we're going to do this. School isn't my best suit, but I'm going to tell you right now that I'm not leaving this office until I get accepted into this master's program. We can call any teacher at Utica and be like, yeah, Fonz is one of a kind. I did not leave that office until we figured out a way that I was going to be able to get accepted into the master's program. 2 hours later, I get accepted into the education master program at Utica College, right? So now I'm all fired up, right? But now I have to maintain over a 3.0 GPA. I've never had over a 3.0 GPA, right? So here's the next step of adversity, right? Here's the next step of, if I want to help my community, I have to hop through another hoop, right? I have to hone down. I have to close my eyes. I have to take a moment, take a deep breath and realize what I want for myself. That way I can go back and help other people, right? Sometimes you have to be selfish and realize I'm going to help myself before I can go back and help others. And sometimes all you need is to stop in the moment, right? Take that deep breath and realize what you truly want, right? So that's what I did. I left there and I was like, all right, I got to figure out a way of how am I going to keep my grades up, right? And that was the first time I got tutors, right? In grad school, that is when I chose to get a tutor, right? I'm in grad school. I'm 21 years old and I'm like, all right, I finally need a tutor, right? I get my tutors. I'm like, all right, this is made for me, right? This is what I'm going to do. And this is how I'm going to do this. Got the tutors, went to the tutors every single day. I can't, not that well I write in papers. Go to the tutor. All right, we got to write this. All right, fine, let's get this done, right? Come to find out, we get to the end of grad school, right? I go through 3 years of I go to the first semester of grad school. Don't get a 3.0, 2.9, fail, right? I'm looking at, I'm on academic probation. They're like, you get another one, you get kicked out. Now I'm sweating like I am now. Sheesh, right? I'm nervous now. Now I'm nervous, right? And I'm like, all right, well, I got to figure out another way. So I drop the tutors and I'm like, I'm just going to go straight to the teachers, straight to office hours. Go to the office hours at Utica College, right? Go to the office hours, tell the teachers, all right, what can you help me do? And they look me in my face. They're like, Fonz, is the time for you to step up, grow up, and own in on your own skills, right? You have the tools, you have to put forth more effort. And hearing that from the professors of that, like just talking to them wasn't going to help me skate by anymore, was a realization of just someone being truthfully and brutally honest with me, like, you can do this. You have to put the effort in and you have to be determined and say, I'm going to do this because I want to do this for myself. That way I can go help more people. And at that point, that next semester, I got a 3.3 GPA, right? But all it took was someone look me in the face and tell me that I can do this. I must hone in on my own skills and believe in myself, right? So that moment when they looked at me and told me that I can, all I have to do is believe in myself and that they believed in me, that's when my life changed, right? My life changed when I had someone verbally tell me that they believed in me and that they can see me be successful if I just put more effort in, right? And sometimes that's all we need to do, right? We need to tell other people in our life, I believe in you. I'm here for you no matter what you need, right? Whether it's a stranger, whether it's your best friend, right? And in that moment, I realized, hey, I got to do this, right? So go on. I got a 3.3 that semester. Next semester, get a 3.1. The very last semester of grad school, I'm like, oh, I got comfortable, right? Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I get a 2.8 GPA. It brings my overall GPA to a 2.9 for grad school. Cannot get my diploma, right? I already got the job at Syracuse City School District. What that was contingent on me finishing my grad school, right? So now I'm like, ooh, well, got comfortable being comfortable, and I let the boss slip, right? And the biggest thing that a lot of us do, we get so comfortable being comfortable that we just start doing things that are convenient for us instead of what is right for us, right? Too many times we get caught up of doing what's convenient instead of what's right. When we need to start doing more things that are, I don't want to do this. This is not the right thing, but this is the right choice to make right now in my life, right? And that's something that we have to realize, and that we also have to stop and look at ourselves of, I'm only doing this because I know I can do it and I can get away with it, right? I'm only doing this because I've done it 100 times. I've never tried this way one time. Yeah, I'm going to do the same one that I've already been doing time after time after time, right? And that's what holds us back in life. So now at this point, I'm getting ready to start working at the summer camp, right? If you know the Adirondacks, there's no cell phone service, there's no internet service, there's no service at all. So here I am trying to complete a dream of finishing grad school and also give back to kids the opportunity in the Adirondacks. So I'm in the Adirondacks, I'm working on papers, getting help working on papers, now also trying to also give back to the kids. And I realized that I was spreading myself too thin. I'm trying to help people over here, trying to get this done over here. And I just needed to take a moment and just bring it all in and stop in one place. But I never did that. I thought that I was Superman and I could just get it all done, right? And we got to realize that we're all human, no matter what our job is, right? No matter we're lawyers, doctors, teachers, even if we're parents, right? You guys have to realize, as parents, I'm not a parent, that you need to take the time and realize who you are and what makes you truly happy as an individual, right? I understand I'm a football coach and a phys ed teacher, and my students mean a lot to me. But if I'm not healthy or good myself, then I can't give them 100%. If I'm not purely, truly happy, then I can't give them 100%, right? So if you guys aren't truly happy, right? If you're having that hard time, take a moment and just close your eyes and picture yourself when you were young, when you were happy, right? You can't be that young again, right? But you can go back to that place and understand that feeling, right? And get that feeling back, right? So, right now, I get the job. I'm in the job at Syracuse. I have to do one more semester of grad school for overall GPA. Go through the semester, focused on. I had one class, one independent study class, ended up getting a 3.4, was able to graduate with my overall master's degree, right? So it may took me an extra year and a half, but the degree was finished, right? But it could have been very easy for me to start comparing my life to the next person who did grad school, right? Comparing my life, oh, John was able to finish this in this amount of time. Susan was able to complete this at this amount of time. Courtney was able to finish this at this time. But we got to realize that everyone's time and journey in life is different, right? And you have to accept that with today's world, today's society, there's so many people that get caught up in social media, that get caught up in the internet and realize, oh, I want to fast forward my life like this, or I want to live my life like this. I want to live my life like this. But your life was never planned to live out like that, right? Your life has its own journey, and you have to be able to want to live that journey, right? Live your journey and live your vision. And that is what is going to help you overall shape out who you are, right? So now, right? Now I've gone to college. I was able to graduate with my master's degree after many different times of failing and continue to go, right? If you see this shirt right here, it says, let your obstacles shape your future, right? That's something that I truly and will always hone in on is the things that you go through, the obstacles that you have are what's going to help you become who you are. Right. The biggest thing for myself was realizing that the people that were missing in my life, the people that were not there in my life, are the ones that I should thank the most. Right. We should all take a moment, right? Not right now, but when you're comfortable, and reach out to someone that has been missing in your life, right? Someone that has been non-existent, someone that has put you through a lot, that maybe really put a damper in your life and you just haven't been able to overcome. And you should text that person, give that person a phone call and tell them, thank you for making you the person you are today. Right? Because right now, I'm always like, people are like, well, do you wish you have your mom back? And it sounds crazy, but I say no. Oh, do you wish you had a dad? No. Right? Because if I was able to know my mom, if I had my dad in my life, right, who I am today, I wouldn't be able to say I'm Alfonzo Whitehurst I am today if I have those people in my life. Because now my book, my story is written different, right? But that just goes back to my life wasn't made to have a mom in it. My life wasn't made to have a dad in it, right? My life was made to go through turmoil, to go through these hard times, to let those obstacles shape me of who I am today, right? Be blessed for the things that you do have instead of the things that you want. Right? If we got those people, if I would have had those people in my life and they would have been the people that I wanted them to be, I might have been a different person than who I am today. Right? Because if it all plays out that way, then life would be easy. We would all be happy. Right? But since those people weren't there, it shaped us into different ways of, oh, I should do this, right? I'll always love my kids because I didn't get this love this way. Or I want to provide this for my family because I never got this for my family. Or I got this for my family and I want to be able to do this for my family, but more, right? You got to take a moment and realize those things and realize, all right, this is what I want to give to people. And this is what I want to do to go forward, right? And it's like we can't allow ourselves to fall a product of our environment, right? Think about it right now, right? Close your eyes, right? You got a tree pot, right? I have a tree pot right here, right? Imagine I put an oak tree in this pot, right? You think this oak, I could grow an oak tree in this pot? Weird, thumbs up, yes, no. Who thinks I can grow an oak tree in this pot? Right? You're not going to be, I can, right? Why? Because it has dirt, it has water, right? The oak tree is going to grow, but the oak tree is going to grow into this big, beautiful oak tree that it can be, right? Oftentimes, people are put into small environments, right? They're put into these little pots, right? And eventually they need a big pot. They need a larger environment to get to really blossom into the person that they truly are, right? But sometimes if we just open the door for someone, right? We open the door and we let them out into the free air, right? Sometimes people just have to walk away and come back and realize who they are, right? Sometimes people have to walk away, get planted in a bigger environment, and they're going to really grow and blossom into this huge, beautiful oak tree, right? But if we just keep holding on to people and confining people to these little pots, they're never going to actually be able to spread their wings and truly grow into what they want to be, right? They're going to fall prey to the environment that they're currently in, right? So as you think about your kids, as you think about the business you're trying to run, as you think about the role you're in at work right now, right? If you continue to stay in this small confinement, right, you're never going to be able to pop and grow, right? And that's a hard thing that we all go through in life. Oftentimes we stay in these small environments. We stay into the things that we know. Why? Because we're comfortable, right? And we don't do the right thing. We just do what's comfortable. We don't do the right thing. So we got to make sure that we're overcoming adversity, right? The right way, not just the comfortable way, right? So overall, those things are very, very, very important to all of us, right? So what I want you to do right now on that sheet of paper, right? That with that person, place, or thing that you wrote, that you've written down, right? So enjoy life, be good to others, right? Be a successful entrepreneur. I want you to write down right now what you've already been doing because you're comfortable with, right? Write down the things that you've already been doing that you're comfortable with, right? And I want you to write comfortable on one side. Now on the other side, I want you to do the things that you have not given yourself or tried to do yet, right? So for the person that wants to start running again, have you started walking, right? Have you started putting one foot in front of the other and walking? Have you started jogging, right? For the person that has anxiety, right? I understand that anxiety is a mental health thing, but there's multiple ways to try to deal with our anxiety, right? Have you tried those other methods other than maybe medicine, right? For the person that wants to eat healthier, right? Have you tried to add in vegetables one time a day, twice a week, right? I want you to write those things down really quick, right? What you've already been doing that's comfortable, and then write down the right things that you probably could do going forward that's going to test you, that's going to make you uncomfortable, right? And I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do that. Go.
Time, something unpredictable, but in the end that's right. I hope you had the time of your life. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this task and don't ask why.
One more
It's not a question.
minute, one more minute, one more minute, write your things down.
But in the end, that's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Thirty seconds.
So take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang it on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable.
10,
But in the end,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so hopefully you guys have all at this point written down things that are going to help you come back and be right, help you start after this, hopefully making decisions that are right instead of the same comfortable decisions, right? That is the only way that you're going to be able to truly overcome that adversity that is holding you back in your life, right? In order to overcome the adversity and overcome steps in your life, you're going to have to start doing what's right? And the hardest thing for me, right, that a lot of people don't understand is when I went away to college, the three siblings, right, that I grew up with, the other two siblings, DJ and Daisha, I didn't always contact them or speak to them every day, right? Maybe once a month, once every 2 months, right? And you guys may think, oh, why didn't you talk to your family? Why didn't you talk to your siblings? Right? The biggest thing for me is at that time in my life, it wasn't the right choice to speak to them, because as soon as I speak to them, I'm going back to a place of comfort, because I know that they were currently struggling, right? And if I never get myself out of the mud, how can I also help someone else in the mud, right? We can't all be in the mud, quicksand, sinking down, while one is trying to pull the other, and one is actually just pulling the other one down while we're trying to pull up, right? But for myself, I had to get out the mud. Now I can reach a hand back in and pull them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So now I got to the place that I was that I got out of the place that made me uncomfortable and put myself in a new situation that made me uncomfortable, to be able to go back and help, right? And if you think about what I'm doing currently in life, right? I'm 27 years old. I've been a phys ed teacher in Syracuse last 3 years. I've chose to coach modified baseball in the city. I chose to coach football in the inner city. I choose to give up my free time in the community whenever I can to do community events, to take kids and pick kids up. And I know a lot of people on here, I see some names that used to be coaches of mine, people that are currently coaches, people that are in the community. And it's important that you guys know that people in your community, people that you live around, appreciate you, right? I believe in you guys. Those kids look up to you. People in your community look up to you because of the time that you've been able to give them. Now, what you have to do is you have to give yourself the time, right, to overcome your personal adversities and your personal fears that's currently holding you back, right? And once you overcome that adversity, write down the next thing that frightens you, or the next thing that's holding you back, and write down again, what have you done that's been comfortable, and what things have you not done because it makes you uncomfortable and you haven't done yet, right? I want to thank you guys for allowing me to come here today to speak to you guys about community and adversity, and realize that the way I overcame adversity is one thing at a time. Of, all right, I haven't ever tried studying, I'm going to study. I haven't tried going to office hours, I'm going to go office hours, right? We all have to live our vision and be honest and true to ourselves, and put the time in, right? Put the time in when you have the time. Use your time when you have the free time to make the life that you want, instead of escape the life that you have, right? And there's anything I left with you guys, hopefully you guys took something from this all and appreciate it. And I want to thank you guys. It's truly an honor that you chose to spend the last 45 minutes with me. So I do know Scott said we're going to open it up for questions. So thank you.
Thanks, Alfonso. That was fantastic. Thank you very much. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat, and I will read them out for us. One thing, Alfonso, can you talk a little bit about the baseball team that you're currently coaching, and how does that play into this, and what role did athletics play for you in achieving your vision?
Oh yeah, so currently right now I coach the Corcoran boys modified baseball team, and last year was my very first year coaching that team. So overall, that team had not won a game in the last 7 years. Right, last year we were fortunate to win 4 games. Right, but when you think about like what we truly did, was we didn't win the games. The kids won the games, right? All I did, and my coach Miranda and other baseball coach that I coached with, all we instilled in the kids was every situation on the field, we compared it to life, right? So whether you're in a pickle, right? If you guys know baseball, pickle is when you're in the middle and 2 people are throwing the ball back and forth trying to get you out, right? Our very first time we started talking about life is our third practice, and we're doing the pickle, right? Oh, what decision are you going to make, right? You're going to make the right one when the ball is there, or you're going to go back, right? You're going back and forth, right? And for our kids, for being inner city kids, we told them, right? There's going to be the street life that's going to try to tug at you, and there's going to be the school life, right? So they're like this, which way are you going to go? Ball's coming both ways, right? Yes, one may get you, but it doesn't mean you're fully out, because you're going to get another opportunity to get back up to get in another pickle, right? And that time you got to be able to make that right decision, right? And so once we started comparing baseball and baseball situations to life, the kids really started buying into baseball. And now we're in our second year this year. And overall, I coach varsity football. We had 28 kids on our varsity football team at Corcoran. This year, registered for baseball, we have 32 kids registered for baseball, right? And out of the 32, maybe one, two. This year, 7 of them have played baseball or some sort of baseball, right? But that's 7 out of 32 that's played, and the rest of them never played, right? And they're just coming out because they heard of the experience of baseball, right? So last year we went from salvaging 13 kids to this year almost not knowing what to truly do with 32 kids signed up, right? So 32 kids signed up for just our Corcoran modified baseball, not for the overall city baseball. Corcoran modified baseball, we have 32 kids signed up. We're gonna go back after break, see how many of them come back after break. But this is modified baseball, and we couldn't get 32 kids for a varsity football program. And so I realized that just us connecting with the kids and being ourselves and connecting a sport to life was very important, because for myself, if I didn't have football, I personally would never went to college. I would probably just gone to OCC like everyone else, but football allowed me to get recruited to those schools to get and to try to go to college, because I was always like, there's no way I'm going to go to college. Like, people in my shoes just don't get that opportunity. So football, being recruited to Utica for football and getting into the HOP program is what overall inspired me to want to give back to kids and also be a difference in someone else's life, because my football coaches were also always my biggest influencers. So that's why I chose to want to coach sports and be a phys ed teacher overall.
Awesome. Well, yeah, that's amazing. 32 kids just for your program. That's fantastic. That's a lot of kids. I would not know what to do with 32 kids.
Yeah, myself and the other coach were because we both grew up in inner city. We know what it feels like to be cut from a team, or like never being able given that chance. Right. So we told them, we're going to keep you all. If you're here just for playing time, I'm not sure this is the program for you. This is going to be a program that we're going to learn about life, and we're going to worry about the little details that are going to define us to become bigger individuals, right? So those little details are going to help us become bigger individuals. And that's what we hope that you get from our Corcoran Modified Baseball program.
That's awesome. So John DeMott said, hi, Alfonso. He said, I remember you and your brother playing Little League, and you guys were always playing ball. He said, congrats on the difference you were making with young people. And what was it about baseball that attracted and interested you?
So, Coach DeMott, how are you? I remember, yeah. So overall, the biggest thing for me for baseball was, so before I tried out to go to baseball, was I tried out for Pop Warner football. And they told me I was too big. And I was like, too big for football? All right. And then come to find out, a couple months later into the school year, Sean Kirst comes in. I'm in Mrs. Kirst's class. Sean Kirst comes to class, tells us there's baseball. My first question I asked him was, is there a weight limit? And he said no. Right. So for myself, baseball gave me that first opportunity to do something other than be in the streets like everyone else was. Right. And the baseball coaches I have all the way from like the very first year I played baseball, they always gave me a chance, and they always believed in me to be able to be an overall better person. And so for something that gave me so much to start off my life, I want to give back to other people the same way other people gave me a chance. So I believe that's why baseball, I chose baseball.
Awesome. Well, if we have any other questions? Then, okay, so John Piora, and I'm sorry, John, if I've just butchered your last name, my apologies. He asks, Corcoran was always a baseball power, correct?
Yeah. So a long time ago, Corcoran baseball was really good. I played modified in the 1 year of JV baseball when I was in ninth grade before moving to Baldwinsville. And during that time, they were holding their own, playing pretty strongly. But since then, the city baseball is all one. So it's just all one league. So it's just Syracuse City baseball. It's all the high schools combined.
Cool. All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, oh, we do one more other. Courtney Black asks, are the modified kids moving up to JV and varsity yet? And
Yes,
just wondering
so
if it's
great,
sticking
great
for
that
them,
you
and
asked that question.
do you keep touch with them as they move out of your program?
Yes. So last year, like I said, was my very first year coaching. And honestly, shout out Coach Miranda. Uh, he collected all the kids from his school. He collected 13 boys from Clary Middle School to play baseball. And before, like, Clary really got any kids to participate in baseball. And last year he collected 13 kids who are all eighth graders, one seventh grader that was playing with us this year. And seven of them are currently playing on the JV teams this year. They actually have a game on Tuesday when we get back from break that I'm going to go watch them all. And I still speak to them quite often. And we have a group chat that we still have called the Mod Squad, Quarter Mod Squad baseball that we're still talking.
Awesome. All right. Any other questions? Patty Black said, I'm delighted the sports gave you an avenue for personal success, but it makes her somewhat sad that there's other kids in similar situations that don't have such a clear path.
Yeah, I definitely would say that, like I said before, it's just going to take a lot of individuals like myself and other community leaders to be able to show the youth that there's more to life than just what is presented currently in Syracuse. It's definitely a hard battle. I think I was fortunate enough to always be strong-minded and like never give up, and that helped me realize that I can't stop because there's nothing to go back to. And if, like, I try daily to install in my players that there's more to life, that there what you are where you are right now is not where you have to be forever. And I've lived that. I know many other people, many of our other coaches, our head coach also grew up on Geddes Street. And it's like life is bigger than what we have right now, but utilize what you have right now to become successful where you want to go. Right. So like this year I had a couple kids that wore baseball cleats to football games. Right. And my biggest thing was, I know that you wear baseball cleats every day, and we could probably find you a pair of football cleats, but I want you to be successful with what you have. And once you're successful with that, then we'll get you something new. Right. So that way I'm instilling in them, we're going to work for what we want, but this is not the end all be all. We're going to utilize what we have to get to where we want to be. So I think that's important.
Awesome. All right. Well, Alfonso, thank you very much. You know, a credible perspective, and those kids are really lucky to have you as a role model. I think, in fact, I think we're all very lucky to have you as a role model. And thank you for sharing all of that with us this evening. It was a very inspiring presentation.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
And really
Go
quick,
ahead.
if any of you guys have like any other questions or information that you would like, I'm gonna put my Facebook and phone number, email in the chat for you guys. Feel free to reach out, ask questions, or even come by a baseball game. So on Facebook is just Find the Wisdom. Is Find the Wisdom. And my overall phone number is, if you have any interest of just having more conversation and just talking more about life and what you could possibly do for our students or for your community, that it all goes a long way. So feel free to call me. I'm always up. I'm like a night owl. So feel free to call. Feel free to
Get in touch.
yeah, stay in touch.
Awesome. And we'll also, when this video is available on Onondaga Free Library's website and the Strathmore Speakers website, we'll also have links to all your social media and everything. And once you have those shirts available too, we can link that too if you get do like fundraising and stuff through that.
Oh yes, of course. Once the shirts are available, I'll send it to Scott and make sure that it gets
yeah, we get links out there so you guys can help support Alfonso and all that he's doing and all the great work. So thanks again, Alfonso. And
yes, thank you guys.
Thank you all for joining us again this evening. Next month, we have 2 events. The first event is going to be on Thursday, May 12th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Syracuse native and author MC Antil is going to be talking about his new book called Floor Burns, Love, Passion in the 1967 Syracuse All-City Championship. So if you guys are basketball fans, please check that out. Links will be to register for that will be available both on Onondaga Free's website, oflibrary.org, and at strathmorespeakers.com. And then on the following Thursday, on May 19th, we're going to have Dr. Brian Taylor from Syracuse University, who's a Russia expert, to give us a little perspective on the ongoing conflict in the Ukraine. So hopefully we will see you all there. You can find updates on the Strathmore Speaker website, which is strathmorespeakers.com. Thank you all for joining us again tonight. Thank you again to Alfonso for the lecture. And we hope to see you guys all again in May, and enjoy the rest of your evening and the coming warm weather. So everybody have a good night, and thanks for joining us.
All right.